Yo, yo. Uh, this video is brought to you by the same series. It's called Toriko. And the script is this: everything that has a form breaks. But that's the moment it gets illuminated in your memory. I remember the scene. It was like they were sharing memories of a guy that just passed by, a father figure that just passed by. And each one was remembering like a time where they met or where they kind of like interacted with or how they found them. But one thing specifically that clicked with one of them was one of the children was like he broke something very beautiful in the house. But the first thing the father kind of looked at them and was like, no, are you okay? Are you hurt? Something happened? And he basically responded with, it was so beautiful, I wanted to hold it, and then I broke it. And his response was, everything that has a form breaks, but that's the moment it gets illuminated in your memory. And right now what I'm reflecting on specifically is when we take shit for granted, right? When we take shit for granted, what happens? When we take shit for granted, we end up basically like, I don't know, you never know what you have until it's gone. So everything that exists within our environment by nature becomes normalized. It's the way we are. It's the way our brain kind of like moves. That's why we get bored. We get bored because there's something that's kind of like, super simple, super straightforward. We get bored, because we figured out everything that's around us. We get used to everything that's around us, right? We get bored because we need something new, not something old. And we apply that to everything, even to people, to friends, right? Like, all these are kind of like base interactions that we kind of like engage with on a day-to-day basis. So like, the part where he says everything that has form breaks, because ultimately we're all gonna die. Steel rusts, wood rots, trees fall. Everything that has a shape, everything physical that's tangible, that has a form, eventually it's gonna meet an ending, right? Isn't that it? It's gonna meet basically like, at one point in time, it's gonna kind of like collapse onto itself. Oh, I just thought, when I said collapse, I just thought about the wave function collapse that basically leads to a different results. It's what they called it in physics. Fucking stupid name. Whatever. Anyways, let me just Google it for a second. Yeah, it's in quantum mechanics. A wave function collapse is a concept of quantum mechanics where a quantum system initially in superposition of multiple states. And when it collapses, one state remains, right? Reduces to a single definite state upon observation or measurement. This process connects quantum behavior to classical outcomes, making it a fundamental aspect of understanding quantum mechanics. It's basically everything is a potential until it becomes a thing, right? Like, I don't know. I can explain it in some different video, maybe sometime. But the minute I mentioned collapse, I thought of it, and it's kind of like one of those manifesty things. But so, like, consider a garden that has always had a tree, right? Or a space in front of you that always was green, and then somebody cut everything down in order to build a house. Suddenly you're like, oh my God, that was so beautiful. Why would they do that? But like, if you look at the attention you used to give it before, barely, right? So it's the moment the form breaks, where it's illuminated in memory. The moment your girlfriend breaks up with you or your partner breaks up with you is the day that love of yours is kind of like, whoa, or or the moment you kind of like lost your job is the day you kind of like, you know, become melancholic about all the things that basically like you got because of that job. I don't know, the moment you take a decision that goes against a different decision is the moment you kind of like break that thing that used to be, right? Like, you know, you break a daily pattern. The moment a phone dies, you remember when you bought it. The moment I don't know, the moment you leave the house is when you kind of realize your position. So we have this attention that we give to things and to concepts and to basically the design of our lives. And I feel we have to do that because, I don't know, the human cannot let go of the being. And so ultimately, there is always an image of yourself, of what kind of person you are, who you are, what are the things that you kind of like, what does the world look like to you? And it's a mourning thing, right? It's like, you know, when somebody dies, suddenly the world has to adjust to their non-existence. And their existence is a part of your head. It becomes a piece of your reality that has been put to the side. So anything that has a form has the potential to break because death follows us all. But the minute that happens is the minute that its life, its presence, its delivery, its everything pertaining to its existence when it comes to us. That's when the story kind of like becomes a thing. And maybe I'm approaching the shallow side of it, right? Because on a daily basis, I kind of like always review the stories of my weeks and my months with the purpose of revisiting the image that I had of whatever happened in order to readjust, to rebuild, to restructure, to recondition, to relive. So over the course of basically like its presence, its life, its existence, the part that existed within your life, the minute it breaks, its story comes to life because it's no longer there. Or at the very least, the way you saw it before is no longer there. It's funny because, like, you know, I'd imagine something like, for example, I don't necessarily speak with 3 and 4 of my friends. And for a while, I only remembered the bad parts. It was like, you know, they were assholes, they were like this. But I actually spent time on my own in order for me to establish to establish the positive times that I spent with them. And that's kind of like an accepting. It's me choosing to accept they're dead. They're no longer within my reality. But actually build a story around the fact that they existed, and they existed in a way that led to them not exist, instead of just, I don't know, the drama that comes after just like not being able to communicate properly. And it's interesting because, like, if you have a person that you're not on good terms with, right? They eat a part of your reality. They eat a part of your energy. They eat a part of your life. But if you give them a chance to die, if you give them a chance to break, if you give their form a chance to kind of like know, the person you knew died, and who you know right now is not the same as the person that's cool, because it's no longer the same relationship, right? It can't be helped. Like, I'm not having a relationship with the same person because, like, you know, the other person was either more understanding or we had a lot more in common. So like I changed, they changed, and eventually basically it didn't work. So, and then the reason why you catch on or you hold on to those feelings is because those people are kind of like, I guess imposing a stress, imposing themselves or imposing a stressful, why do I want to say, they're in a stressful position because of your expectations of how they were and comparing them to who they are right now. So giving them a chance to kind of like die, to giving them a chance to break, allows your reality to reformulate, allows them to kind of be like, that guy, I loved him. He was amazing. This, and that, this, and that. Who is he to you now? Nobody. There's no point. I don't know who he is right now. That guy that I knew was amazing. And I feel it's the same because, like, it's the same as my first fucking, like, protein shaker. And I look at it now. It still functions, but I don't use it because the top broke, so I use it as a cup. Such a thing, right? Like, you go like, oh, when it died, now the memories and whatever started it and whatever was built around it became a thing. I don't know, man. It's a beautiful quote. Everything that has form breaks, but that's the moment it gets illuminated in your memory. That's when the story comes to life. With a bit of salt and pepper and kind of like, right? Love you guys.